So we're going to move from the UK, which Lorna talked about dealing with kind of 10% inflation, to a country where inflation is kind of an everyday occurrence, seemingly, in the last few years. So we're going to go to Luis, who is actually in Brazil at the moment, but he's going to talk about Argentina. So good morning, Luis. Can you hear me okay?
Good morning, David. Good afternoon for you.
It is. So be interesting for you to share kind of what lessons that you've learned and that you continually see about how we deal with high inflation in a country like Argentina.
Yeah. First, David, thanks for having me here. Hello, everyone. And indeed, inflation has been a hot topic everywhere. Countries dealing with 10, 12% inflation. Unfortunately, that's not news in Latin America. This is something that has been part of our daily lives. And I remember being a kid and my father talking about inflation. Argentina is a case by itself. Argentina has a long history of periods of high inflation, especially over the last century, several periods of extended inflation and few periods of inflation under control. Last year, we were expecting in Argentina an inflation around 60%. It ended up being 100. Well, what does it mean for business? It means an environment that is certainly difficult to operate. Salaries have to be constantly updated, periodically updated. Inflation has some other side effects, for example, turnover. It may be hard for a company to retain talent as people start jumping from one job to another just to get a wage bump. The Argentinian government as well has been intervening a lot in the economy, especially by changing tax policies, income tax policies to try to get some relief, especially to low income classes. In the period of 21 and 22, we had at least 4 major tax changes in Argentina with retroactive effect that nearly threw chaos into payroll departments, really complicated changes. Well, but companies and unions are kind of used to this environment. They try to design policies to try to protect their workers the best they can, and usually unions try to negotiate deals to make sure their members don't lose their purchasing power. Those agreements can be quite complicated sometimes. And well, how can ADP help? We've been directly present in Argentina for over a decade. We've weathered several periods of high inflation. We have a very robust legal department that tries to take always a very conservative stance whenever there is a legal change, so we don't expose our clients to any sort of liability. We constantly check our understanding of the law with external partners. And that's especially important because in Argentina, most of the regulations have a lot of gray zones to be applied. We also try to apply as much automation as possible into our products. In fact, we are deploying a new series of RPAs into our technology stack, and also means to electronic validate payroll so we can deal with the complexity better. Calculations in Argentina cannot easily be done by hand. You do need a system and a robust system to be able to perform them. We have a strong footprint in the country, over 280 clients. 60% of those clients are multinationals, which is a proof of our expertise and companies that we keep supporting, keep helping to navigate this environment, and we intend to continue helping them to do so.
Hey, Luis, thank you for joining us.